Polly and I freeze in the doorway of the kitchen, staring at each other, barely daring to breathe. We listen to the steady hum of the engine from down below. Then she is off again, flying down the passage, yelling, "They're back!" With Sydney over my shoulder and the General in my pocket, I run after her as fast as I can through the maze of corridors and stairs. I find Polly at the end of a stone hallway, clutching a bunch of keys and straining to open about 15 different locks on a very heavy door. I should have got blankets or something. They're bound to be cold after their journey. But they'll have brought formula, so we can probably have a feast tonight. A feast of pink chicken and chips slop. I wonder what her parents will make of the silent boy covered in mud who broke into their house with a cockroach. Polly loosens a padlocked chain, draws a wooden beam back and struggles to pull the door open. "Don't just stand there, kidnapper, help me." Together we force the heavy door open across the stone. Polly rushes out, full of words. The sky is filling up with grey clouds, but there is no rain yet. She stops dead in her tracks on the first step, looking at the machine in the courtyard. Its engine is quietly humming. It doesn't look like much close up, all dented with scratches down the side, smoke pumping noisily out of the rusty exhaust. But there's no mistaking it. The 6 large wheels ridged with mud, the purple panels all painted with a yellow F in a circle. The machine the stag first saw in the great open. Maybe they gave Mum and Dad a lift, says Polly quietly. Somehow I don't think so. I step down and stand in front of her, feeling responsible, like I'm her older brother. She snatches Sydney off my shoulders and hides the cat down on the steps behind her. "Proceed with great caution," whispers the General from my pocket. The engine switch is off. One of the panels slides open. There's no one inside, just shadows. Then a pair of metal poles swings out with a click onto the paving stones. Crutches. 2 human legs swing out behind the metal legs. They belong to a tall man wearing a suit and tie under a long brown coat. It's hard to say what he looks like, only that he is white and pale, like he has never seen the sun. The only colour on his face is from his lips, which are pink and blubbery. The man looks at us and winks. Then, with lightning speed, he hops across the flagstones towards us on his crutches. He stops at the bottom of the steps, but he doesn't look at all tired, resting now on all 4 of his feet. "Hello, childrens," says the man. His voice sounds foreign, but I can't work out where from. It sounds like lots of different accents all at once. "It looks like it might rain today, yes?" I really hope not. He swings his left crutch towards the clouds. With a hydraulic hiss and the sound of a flag unfurling, a black umbrella squeezes out of the tip and explodes into the sky. The man holds the umbrella over our heads, which he finds really funny for some reason. "We don't want you to get wetted now." Polly and I just look up at the umbrella that came out of the crutch, and she holds onto my arm. "So, childrens, hello. My name is Captain Sculdis." "Hello, girl childrens," he continues, wagging the tip of his other crutch at Polly, which she shakes as if it was a weird robotic hand. "Hello," she says in a very low voice. "Hello, boy childrens," Captain Sculdis says, thrusting the pole at me. I don't take it. Ignoring me, he carries on. "So what are you 2 young children's doing outside in the good old quarantine zone? Don't answer yet. There's plenty of time for answers. Captain Sculdis looks up at the house behind us, his milky eyes scanning the dark windows and the roof. But first, let me tell you what Captain Sculdis is doing driving around in my special vans. I'm driving around and around in this beautiful country, round and around the whole thing, up and down, all over the place. And do you know what I'm looking for? He winks at us again and waves the other crutch in the air with excitement. I am looking for some animals, children's, nasty, diseased old animals. You haven't seen any sick old animals, have you, children's? We both shake our heads, perhaps too quickly. Whatever you do, Sydney, don't move, I say without taking my eyes off the crutch. Captain Sculdis purses his lips. I see, my big sorry. I should have explained in full. I told you the whole caboodle and all, my dear Kiddywinks. What is happening is this. The factorium, this Mr. Selwyn Stone, he comes to me and he says, Hey, Captain Sculdis, whatever are you doing now? You stop it and stop it straight away. What were you doing? Asked Polly. Captain Sculdis gives her a sharp look. Oh, never mind, little girls. It was just some soldiers' work far away in the jungle. Some work to talk about another day, which gives me these old things for the rest of my life. He picks at the frayed leather straps wound tight around the handles of his crutches. Let us just say I have a very good personal reason for not liking the animals, especially big ones with even bigger toothy pegs. The captain is lost in his thoughts for a moment and then clicks his fingers as if to wake himself up. So where was I? Of course, Stone, he says. Captain Sculdis, we are very worried about this red-eye virus. It has killed so many animals. Yes, so cruel, so sad. And I say, but this is a good thing, is it not? Sculdis jabbed his finger in the air and he says, no, that is precisely where you are wrong, my dear Captain Sculdis. He leans in so close that we can see the veins in his eyes. We are very worried, yes, most worried indeed, that this horrible plague, he beats his heart with his fists and pulls a sad face. It has killed so many fluffy woodland whatsits, will now kill the numero uno animal on this good planet, men's. He now shakes his head slowly from side to side at the thought. Very good, says I. Anything Captain Sculdis can do to help his own race of men's. So I say, what would you like me to do with these animals and their nasty mutating virus? He whacks the front step again, harder this time, and I swear I hear something crack. And I don't think it was the crutch. Why, Captain Sculdis, what do you think? Why have I asked a top soldier like yourself to help us? We expect you to exterminate them, please. Please exterminate these leftover animals. Exterminate them as you might a little bug. He grinds the crutch tip down where he has just cracked the step, as if squashing an imaginary bug. What is the enemy intruder doing, soldier? Whispers the general from my pocket. Oh, nothing, I say. For some reason, doing this to the imaginary bug makes Captain Sculdis laugh, a tee-hee kind of laugh, and then he waits for us to speak. We haven't seen any animals, says Polly eventually. She tries to take a step back, to push Sydney away towards the house, and the still open door. Captain Scoldis nods. He points at me with his crutch. How about you, boy children's? A catty got your tongue, has it? Does he know? Polly and I swap glances super fast. I hope you're not expecting me to run anywhere or move quickly, says Sydney from behind her hiding place behind us, because that is absolutely not going to happen. You know, boy children's, I'm looking at you, and I tell you for why. Scoldis runs the cold tip of his crutch all over me, and from the top of my head down to my toes, I shiver. And I'm wondering, this boy children's, why is he all covered in mud from head to toe? We just stare at him. Polly has gone as mute as me. Covered in mud, like dirty animals. He leans forward and sniffs me up and down, big, long sniffs over my hair and neck. Yes, he even smells like dirty animals. So I ask you again, children's, have you seen any dirty, diseased beasties? Out of the corner of my eye, I catch Sydney trying to peer between our legs. Sydney, don't move. Scoldis prods my shin with the crutch. So come on. Captain Scoldis hasn't got all day. Answer me, please. Then, without warning, he wraps me hard across my shins with his crutch. I want to rub it, but if I bend over, he'll see Sydney. He can't talk, you stupid man, says Polly. Oh, says Captain Scoldis, something nasty creeping into his voice. His neck tenses and his eyes roll up to the sky. Stupid am I? He takes aim with the crutch at my shins again and whacks them hard this time. I open my mouth to scream and nothing comes out. Doubled up with pain, I leave Sydney fully exposed behind us on the steps. She gives a squeaky yowl before darting towards the door. But it's too late. The umbrella vanishes back into the crutch with a flick of the captain's finger, and in less than a second, the end has extended like a telescope and pinned down Sydney's tail under a clawed tip. She squeals in pain. Polly gabbles. She isn't ill. She hasn't got the virus. We followed all the instructions. Oh, yes, says Captain Scoldis. Then why is she shivering? He turns again to me, his face going darker all the time. He presses the crutch harder on the cat's tail. Then why does she have red eyes? No, you don't understand, says Polly. On the contrary, I understand all too well, little girls. Slowly, Captain Scoldis turns around and whistles at the van. The doors to the cab swing open and two men step out. They're wearing rubber hoods with gas masks and rubber gloves and waterproof trousers tucked into their boots. They're carrying guns bigger than Polly's. They've got ropes and nets slung over their shoulders and belts clanging with tranquilizer darts. Colours.